If you're watching this video, it means you've passed your pediatrics and O&G, and that's farewell to that, and then welcome to the future. Guys, if you're watching this video, we're going to be discussing just a general orientation on how you're going to take your special posting and have the best, outcome out of this point. I want you to take this posting serious because, as you know, you are going to be like, they're going to start immediately you come in. They're going to start. You have very short period of time to rotate between all the special postings, in 600 level. And not just about that, besides the fact that there's a short period of time, I want you to realize that your surgical at the end of the day, surgery for you, your pre-MBA in surgery is going to be determined by five results: S1, S2, S3, your mock exam, the surgery mock, and then finally the fifth part is going to be by your special postings. So all that would aggregate to 50% of your pre-MB in surgery. So I want you to have that at the back of your mind when you are taking your special posting. And to be honest, if your S1 was coasted and your S2 was dilly-dally and your S3 was not so strong, then special posting becomes the best part for you to make up those marks. Fortunately for special posting, this is where we have the highest marks in clinicals, as in historically speaking and statistically speaking. So we see a lot of 80s, a lot of 70s here from everybody. Even the average guy in the class would likely have a very distal 60 or even an early 70 in your special posting. So it's a very good point to build and recover all those marks that you might have lost. And besides all that, you might fall in love with one of the specialties, and the future awaits you already. Now, in this video, I'm going to be discussing ophthalmology and otorhinolaryngology, ENT, ear, nose, and throat for short. Alright, so I'll just delve straight to the point. For all your special postings, you have 2 weeks, and for all your special posting, I want to say it categorically clear: they value the logbook. The logbook is so important that if you do not make up to 70% of the attendance, you will not be allowed to write the exams. And some students have actually missed special posting exam because of this, peculiarity. I repeat, your logbook in special posting is very, very important. I want you to be aware of that strongly. Now, and for 2 weeks, you only have 5 working days for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, so for all your special posting, you only have 10 days. You understand? However, special postings go along with M2. So it's going to be a 12-week program. It's a long program. There's a lot of lectures, lined up for you in this period. From about 20 lectures in medicine, about 24 in ENT, about 10 in ophthalmology. When you add it all together, it's a huge posting. The last time you had a 12-week posting, let me remind you, was in 300 level. So you might have forgotten how to take a 1 week long exam because you are doing 5 courses and you're going to take the exam on week 12 of the 12-week posting. There is no revision period. By the time you start having this as the background from when you are starting special posting, you begin to be very, very aware of what you are doing. Now, back to ophthalmology. So there will be clinical activities for ophthalmology. I think you have 2 theater sessions within the 2 weeks, and then of course clinics, and then and just the normal clinical activities you have generally. You're going to be having that in ophthalmology. A good source of stuff for ophthalmology would be, I would just recommend your class materials. The reason why is because the ophthalmology textbooks are actually specialty textbooks. You might really not find any undergraduate text for ophthalmology. However, Professor Adepoju has prepared a very beautiful guide to ophthalmology. It's a reasonably sized textbook that you can use to guide your ophthalmology learning. But given the space of time you have for the posting, which is just 2 weeks, following your lecturer's materials might be very, very beneficial. And I can assure you straight up that ophthalmology does not have so much of a heavy volume in terms of lectures. Let me also say something very important. Just knowing the anatomy of the eye is about 30% of the knowledge you require in ophthalmology. Just having a very strong anatomy of the eye with the nerves, the optic nerves, and all that, and all those your pathways, your visual pathway, your light reflexes, and all that. Having a strong understanding of that is already 30% of the knowledge you require in ophthalmology. So I want you to, if you forgot that that material on the eyeball that you did not read in 300 level because you were in a hurry, please go back, freshen it up, because you're going to require it in clinical ophthalmology, and it's very, very necessary that you have that, both in real life and even in the exam. Now, talking about the exam, ophthalmology is purely going to be MCQs for the exam. There is no negative marking. So this is, now you understand what I'm talking about. This distal 80s possible, and even 90s. I think the highest we've had in the history of ophthalmology in our college is about a student who had 92%. So that is possible. So it's something you should, you should be interested in. And besides all that, there's an ophthalmology prize which is coveted by a lot of students. So I mean, you can have a go at it. So that is to just give you an idea of ophthalmology posting. The logbook is important. Your class materials will be a very good source of stuff. The exam is all MCQs, and there's no negative marking. I want you to have that at the back of your mind when you go into your ophthalmology posting. I think my eye is itching. Maybe it's because I'm discussing ophthalmology. Anyway, now to ENT, otorhinolaryngology. ENT is bulky in size compared to all the other special postings. The lectures are kind of large, and the content of the lectures too are kind of much. It's a surgical posting, as you know, it's a special posting under surgery. So the lectures are kind of large. Now, the anatomy of the ear, nose, and throat is very significant for you to actually have an understanding of ENT. If you want to just learn it, you need to go back and brush up your anatomy. Even if it's just a 1 hour read of just breeze through of your nose, the ear, and the throat, you will really enjoy the posting. And I can tell you that the surgeons in ophthalmology, they are very detailed. They are very detailed in terms of what they do. And having that foreknowledge of anatomy will help you to be able to navigate through the lectures, because they will not come back and start telling you the cochlea and the semicanal. They'll just mention them on the semicircular canal. They'll just mention them in passing. It will rest on you to go back, brush up some things. And the reason why we're doing all this is because we want to catch up and recover some of the marks we might have lost. Don't forget, statistically speaking, surgery is the least passed posting, and it's not just in every medical school. So I want you to be very, very aware of that. Why you are doing this special posting. Yeah, I know the end is closed. You guys are tired. You just want to finish. You're just coming from an MB. I know, but here is the future. This is what you've been preparing for the past 5 years plus X. So it's time to catch up. And I'm telling you, going back to brush up your anatomy is a very, very good investment for your ENT. The ENT exam is going to feature both MCQs as well as a written part. You should be aware of this. And besides the end of posting exam for ENT, there is also at the end of your 12th week, there's also an exam, an ENT exam that is prepared at the end of your 2 weeks of the posting. The exam is going to be on the last day of the posting. Usually it is postponed to the Saturday of your 2nd week of that posting. That exam is going to feature basically an oral part of the exam, where you actually discuss with the consultants or your examiner, as the case might be, where you discuss what you've learned over the last 2 weeks. And also, there is the huge proportion of that exam is going to be resting on your knowledge of the instruments used in ENT, from your laryngeal mirror to your Jobson Hobbs probe, to all those things that they use frequently in ENT are going to be examined at the end of 2 weeks of the posting. At the end of your 2 weeks, if ENT is your first posting in 600 level, at the end of 2 weeks you're going to have an exam. That's what I want you to be aware of now. And then at the end of the posting again, you are going to have the standard end of posting exam, the EOP, at the end of the 12th week. So I want you to be aware of that as well. Now, for ENT, a good source of stuff, as I told you, you can rely strongly on the materials that your lecturers are going to be giving you, because the subspecialty texts for all those for texts are really large, and you might not want to, as an undergraduate, you might not need to go there, because the materials they're going to be giving you in class is going to be sufficient for your understanding. Don't forget to brush up your anatomy. It's very, very very important. By and large, the teachers in ENT are very astute surgeons, and they're going to give you all you need for the exam. So I'll end here now for ophthalmology and ENT. Don't forget, there's going to be another video for anesthesia and radiology. There's also a video for medicine M3 and S3, and even other videos that will guide you in your clinical part of your final exams, examination, OSCE, and all that. If you enjoyed this, please share with your classmates, and I really wish you a wonderful 600 level experience. Cheers, guys.